Good morning, everybody. This is John Lemaster here at Insurance Agency Marketing. I want to first thank everybody for joining us here. I'm going to have a great presentation with our friends over at Snappy Kraken, and Kendal will be giving you some information on what they have to provide you guys as advisors to help grow your practice. I'm going to give it about 30 more seconds or so here to let a few more people jump in, and then we'll get going.
Awesome.
Alrighty, we'll get started here this morning. Once again, thanks everybody for joining us here. Once again, my name is John Lemaster. I'm a life sales director here at Insurance Agency Marketing Services. We have Kendal here to represent Snappy Kraken. Before I hand things over to her, I want to go over a few things about our firm here and the value that we provide to you as producers and advisors. To start off, we have our new producer builders. So when you join IMS, your first 180 days, you automatically get enrolled into this program, and you see we have 5 different levels here of production that you qualify for, if we want to call them prizes or whatnot. We have the $100,000 level, $250,000 level, 500, 750, and $1 million. So that the prizes, if you want to call them that, can be anywhere from $750 in cash to different marketing reimbursement dollars and amounts, a Ritz-Carlton stay. And if you hit that $1 million mark, you can say you get 8 to 10 preset annuity appointments or a published in a major news outlet, say ABC, Fox News, NBC, etc. of your choosing. So a way to reinvest in your business and saying thank you for working with us. Next, we have our business builders. So no different than you guys out there in the field. The best way to say thank you is to give us a referral. If you do refer us to another agent, we will cut you a check for $50 once that agent does get contracted. And after that point, you will get, say, an override on that referrals business. There's a couple different percentages there, as you can see, from life target annuity, indexed annuity premiums, single premium life premiums, and MYGA business. Another way that we help you reinvest in your business is our marketing reimbursement program. So we'll pay $100 in marketing reimbursement per $100,000 of indexed annuity premium, $200 per $100,000 of SPL production, and $200 per $10,000 of life target premium. Next, one of our core, foundation here when Charles started IMS back 30 plus years ago was we wanted to make sure that we were here supporting our agents from submission to commission. So we want you guys to work smarter, not harder. So we're here to help you guys out from that's either case design assistance, running life and annuity quotes, paperless contracting, also have access to electronic applications that we will scrub first before submitting that business. So like we said, we want you guys to spend time out in the field, writing production, growing your business. So we will take care of all back office support from submission to commission. Also, when you get contracted with us, you'll have access to our IMS website that is available to you 24/7. On there, you have a term quoter tool for the life insurance side of things, current annuity news, industry links, access to forms online, annuity grids, long-term care production grids, multiple things. And also there's a ton of information on there. Our new producer solutions in our sales resource library has, you could spend 2 days in there looking over stuff from fact finders to presentations to sales guides, sales ideas. Like I said, you could spend 2 days plus in there going over all that information. So it's a great resource to have at your fingertips. As I mentioned, we have most of our business we promote uses electronic applications. So we have 3 different electronic application programs. Firelight is where the majority of our annuity business runs through. iPipeline is about 90% of the life insurance flows through, and then Sunfire is used for MedSup. To point out Firelight, here's the list of annuity carriers that run through Firelight. There's even some I know on the annuity side, they will firms will give you, or carriers will give you extra comp if you are using electronic application versus a paper application. I think we all know the value of using an e-app as to less NIGOs, all that sort of stuff. So the sooner we can get that business processed and submitted, the quicker you guys get paid. Next thing I want to point out is our creative marketing solutions. We have an awesome team here at IMES on our creative team. A couple different things that they work in, turnkey solutions, agency solutions, and digital solutions. They do an amazing job on the digital side. I think, as we know, everything is moving digital, and not just in our business, but in our world. So I think people are missing out if you don't, one, at least have a website, so they can help you create a website or even overhaul a current website that you have. And they'll also help you on social media consulting, email marketing, and creating online newsletters. We also have our great team over at IMES Wealth Management that has started up about 6 or so years ago. I think there's a huge area of opportunity for people to gain a more wallet share with your clients if you have some of that managed money that you can offer to them. So we can increase your revenues with managed money fees, and most advisors will see an increase also then in their fixed annuity business and also their life insurance business. Improve those client relationships as you are now able to offer full range of products and services. And by doing that, you can strengthen your client relationships as you are now viewed differently by your clients and prospects as an advisor, as you are now a fiduciary. So if you'd like to, if that's something that you're interested in, give us a call here at 800-255-5055. We can get you in touch with Charles, Duncan, and Zach over there at IMES Wealth Management. One of the last things here before I hand it over to Kendal is we have our life and annuity academies, which are a great way to invest back into your business and spend some time on your business and some training. We actually have one coming up in May in partnership with Athene. So we'll fly you out to wonderful Des Moines, Iowa, have 2 days of training here. We're multitude of topics, annuity industry threats and trends, top producer turnkey seminar, systems, large life case management, wealth transfer tools, and sales software tools. So like I said, we have opened up registration for that one here. I think it's the second week of May. So if there's something of interest to you, give us a call here at 800-255-5055, and anybody on our team here can help you out. And I'm going to put up a brief poll here. If you are interested in our Life and Annuity Academy coming up, select yes, and we'll reach out to you to provide you some more information. So I'll leave this up here for a couple seconds. Alrighty. 2 more things here before I hand it over to Kendal. We do have incentive trips. I know that the one that ran for the past 18 months, they will be going to Kiawah Island here in a few weeks to spend a couple days out there. And the one that we also have going on now that happens there in late August in partnership with Athene is the Wentworth by the Sea up there in the Northeast in New Hampshire. So to qualify for that, you need to do $3 million of Athene premium from last July here. So you have a couple more months there until the end of June when qualification ends there. Once again, if you have any more questions there, give us a call here at 800-255-5055. 5055. You can talk to anybody here on our team to get some more information on that and see where you stand in qualification for Wentworth by the Sea trip. And the last thing, here's our team of life sales directors here at IAMS. We have Tony, myself, Beth, and Paul. So if you have any questions on the life insurance, long-term care, DI, or final expense, reach out to one of us. We can help you out. If it's case design, quotes, sales ideas, talking about marketing, concepts, and vendors like Snappy Kraken, we can help you out there. I guess final thing too here, like us, like, share, subscribe, our Facebook, LinkedIn, obviously our YouTube channel then too, have a lot of great content and up-to-date material on there. And with that, I will hand things over to Kendal, and she can tell you about the awesome things that they're doing there at Snappy Kraken.
Thank you so much, John. I really appreciate that handover, and then let me get it all set up and we can get rolling. Okay, so I think we are on the right screen. Everybody is good with the state of digital. So I'm so excited to join you all today. We have a really incredible report that we've put together. This is our 2024 state of digital, and it's too good not to share. So I am super grateful for all of you joining me this morning. I think you're going to have tons to take home with you. Now, if we think about marketing and how it's changed over the last 20 years since we've kind of started the whole process of getting our business out there, growing our leads list, creating opportunities, and then especially over the last few years, shifting out of just relying on organic growth and starting to put in an actual growth strategy plan for your business to see more prospects, more clients, and then also more predictable referrals. So at Snappy Kraken, what we do is help financial advisors and financial professionals with all of their digital marketing needs. We have a holistic plan that offers a huge content library. It's about 400 plus campaigns. We make them all in-house. We have our team of expert matter expert. You know what I'm talking about. We have experts on our team that design all of the content, and we produce about 4 new pieces every single month to give you different resources that you can share, both to nurture your prospects. So if you already have a list of leads, to start to warm them up. And then on the other hand, it would be engaging with your clients. So that client retention portion, creating the best business that you can, and then also generating more referrals from some different resources that I'll show you throughout this presentation. So, you know, what advisors have relied on for so long is kind of their intuition, or this creative, you know, backing to their marketing, just throwing things up to see what works. And it all just came down to trial and error. And what's so incredible about our State of Digital report is that we have this data analysis, which is the largest data analysis ever collected on financial advisor marketing. And so we have data from over 10,000 campaigns, almost a 250 million data points just from last year. We also have a report from the year prior. So at Snappy Kraken, we're very data driven. But when you have data like this, now you can start to gauge what's working, what's not working, and not just for yourself, but as a whole, as an industry as a whole. So what I want to drive, what this report drives is good marketing decisions. But you're not alone just with this report or just with Snappy. You have IAMS and all of their different resources. So, you know, John, if there's anything that you want to chime in on, please feel free to speak up. I'm happy to have some conversation going. But the data actually you can see laid out here on the right. This is what we're covering. This is what we looked at. We're talking about almost 40 million contacts, what they're doing, and you can start to learn from all of this data and what people are clicking on and what's performing for them, what's driving the most amount of leads and opportunities for advisors and other professionals' businesses. So I'm not going to cover everything in this report. I'm hoping that you had a moment to download the full report. It's about 40 pages. All I'm going to do today is highlight what I think and what the team at Snappy Kraken believes to be the most important takeaways. So there is a lot that we'll cover. It's going to be, you know, plenty of different strategies and tools that you can implement. As we go through this together, I challenge you. There's going to be a lot, and I don't want it to be overwhelming. Instead, what I want you to do is choose maybe 1 or 2 tactics that you believe you can implement that align with your different marketing goals. And that's something to think about before we get too far is, what is your marketing goal? What brought you to this webinar to learn more about data and strategy? What are you trying to accomplish? Are you looking to build an audience? Where are you at? Do you want more leads? Do you have plenty of leads that you need to nurture and convert into clients? Are you already pretty full in terms of clients, but you want a better method of communication and retention and education? Or do you want to have a more predictable growth scale for referrals and organic growth? Your goal can range, but that's something that is going to be personal to you. And so as we go forward, pick 1 to 2. Don't try to do it all. And then the second challenge would be to reach out to IAMS and ask for their type of guidance on how to move forward and accomplish these goals. So you're not alone with this data. You're not alone with all of this information. You have plenty of tools to take advantage of. So let's actually talk about what's working for advisors. And I'm not going to talk about those kind of strange, random things that work for a few advisors, like maybe television or an extremely successful podcast. You know, those are things that not every advisor can replicate. So instead today, I'm only talking about what is working for 10,000 advisors in all 50 states. So this is going to be things that are replicable, that are predictable, things that any advisor can put into their strategy to improve their growth. Okay, so we have tons of data and we're going to get started. But before we go too far into that, I want to note something that's important about data, because it's kind of like that silver shiny object, and when it comes to data, we all get extremely excited, especially in this industry. But data without strategy is useless. It's total junk if you can't really extract the important and meaningful aspects of the data and then understand how those data points can actually serve your business. So let's look at this flywheel strategy. This is our strategy at Snappy Kraken. This is what all of our content and our websites and our SEO all align with. So you're going to notice that there is an outer ring. I want us all to take a peek at this together. So there's 2 parts to this strategy. The first part is that outer ring. We have our audience, right? That's where we start. That's ground zero. That's going to be your foundation of how to market. You have to start by growing your audience, and you'll notice it's the biggest portion within the flywheel. So why is it the biggest? Now, you want to have the most opportunity, right? Give yourself a fighting chance when it comes to your marketing communication. And to do that, you have to grow your audience, you have to get noticed, and you have to start conversations. And we'll talk about that inner ring shortly, but first, it's that audience portion. And once you have generated a large audience, and I'm not talking about just any old lead, this has to be someone who is actually engaged with your content, with your communication. They're paying attention, they're following along, and you can start to nurture and warm them up. So eventually you can turn them into a client, right? That is the ultimate goal, is to grow your business. And so turning them into a client, I have total faith that you have most of the tools to accomplish that task. But once you've turned them into a client, The next portion is to turn them into a raving fan of your business, or at the very least, a promoter or a referrer, so that you can start to see some organic growth, right? That's what this industry has been built on. When I speak to hundreds of different advisors, their feedback is always, I've grown my business off of organic growth, which is really an incredible trait to have. But it's not your only outlet. And so you need to start to think a little bit bigger, a little bit wider, and start to imagine new channels for your business, and to create some more clients for yourself in different ways. Okay, so we have our audience, right? We turn them into clients, we turn clients into promoters or referrers, and then that feeds right back into that top portion of growing your audience, because your referrers and your clients are still your audience. They're paying attention, if not more than your prospects. They love getting knowledge. They love feeling like they're connected and that there's something personal coming to them. And that's how you create that really incredible journey for them over time. So there are 6 different, how do I want to put it, 6 different factors that move this flywheel. You'll see there's these arrows, and that's because it's a wheel that continues to turn. It feeds in itself, and it's a cycle. So there is 3 different portions that go into our audience, right? It's getting noticed, then it's growing them. You have to actually convert. So not only get their attention, but get them to raise their hand, generate an actual lead for yourself. And once you have their name and email and hopefully phone number, you need to start the dialogue, that back and forth, their interest, and that's where we start conversations. And then once they're clients, winning them is mostly your responsibility, though we have tools to help. Then you turn them into a lifelong fan by having different tools that they respect and they love and they want to share, which generates more referrals. And so we'll talk more about this, but this strategy is incredibly important to go back with the data so that we can actually know kind of step by step how to accomplish those different goals. All right, so your audience comes from a number of different places, right? This could be seminars or webinars. Maybe you've had events. This is your email list, referrals. And, not to sidetrack, but this is where having a database and a CRM system is really critical to having a successful marketing strategy. If you do not have those things in line and organized, it's going to become very difficult to target the right audience and to see actual movement and performance come from your marketing strategy. So we're not a CRM system. We integrate with a few Redtail, Wealthbox, and Salesforce, and those, along with others, you can still bring their contacts in, but this is really kind of where you need to start. But how do we start to actually grow that audience? That is always the biggest question. So one of the biggest areas advisors struggle with is to build their list, right? They often come to us. I'm sure IMS hears it all the time, right? How do I get more people to open my content, to read my emails, to click and interact with my content? It's that burning question that most of you are probably struggling with. So we analyze all of the different traffic sources, all of the different ways that advisors grow their audience through advertising and radio and TV, and there's tons and tons of really great channels to build an audience. But the most predictable and where you're going to see the most performance, the one that works the very most for advisors, is going to be through their website. And this is so important to perk up and listen to. Your website is what will drive you the most amount of traffic, generate the most amount of leads. And if you do it correctly, then it will generate the right type of leads for you. So not just any willy-nilly prospect coming in to your bucket. Instead, you can start to target your ideal client, right? Your niche, who exactly you want to serve. And we'll talk more about how to do that. But we analyze different websites, and we analyze their performance. And when someone has an SEO strategy versus when they don't, there's a really big difference. So your website alone is not going to cut it, right? We can't just have a website that's not optimized, that doesn't have the right lead magnets and the different tools to start to see conversion and to get you noticed. And so look at the performance differences over here on the right. On this table, you can clearly see that SEO has a very clear advantage versus someone who may not have a search engine optimization plan on their website. So 93.9% better performance in terms of numbers of visitors that come to your website. So right at the very top of your funnel, right, building your audience, making that the biggest portion. You have 3,000 visitors a month on average without an SEO versus 6,000 a month with one, right? That is doubling your chances, doubling your opportunities to see conversion, to attract the right clients. So when you implement an SEO strategy, your visitors basically double, and then below you can see the interactions on the website, basically double again. So the number of times pages are loaded up on your site, they increase by 74%. So people are not only visiting more, but they're engaging more when you have an SEO strategy. They're spending longer on your website. Google likes that. So now down below, you can see there's 4 different things that are called out to influence a good SEO strategy. And I won't talk about all of them, but one of them that I really want to point out, and this is a critical aspect to take away, is number 2, that's Google, right? So 93%, this is a huge number, 93% of the internet traffic is coming from Google. So you can mess around with other search engines, Yahoo. Truthfully, I don't even think about other ones because Google is definitely the biggest promoter. Google has something called a Google business profile. And normally when I'm in person or I'm talking to a group of advisors, I'll have them raise their hands to those who may have a Google business profile versus those who don't. And it's a very small percentage. It's maybe like 5 to 10% of advisors in that room have a Google business profile. And it's just baffling. It is truly startling that as an advisor, you don't have this set up. Number one, because it's completely free. So you've used your Google business profile for other businesses, right? Say you are on the road and you're looking for a gas station and you're on Google Maps. The first thing you're going to pop up is what's around me. Okay, this gas station looks nicer. I want to go here. The hair salons, the nail spas. Now, these are important to me, maybe not important to you, but still, I know that you're looking this stuff up for restaurants and coffee shops. Every business in 2024, especially an advisor, should have a Google business profile. Now you can add photos and you can have the times that you are open and where to find you and contacts, and all of that information is going to be important. But why you want to have a Google business profile is because Google wants people to spend more time on your website, but they also want you to use as many products of theirs as you can. So they start to prioritize you, and your business and your SEO strategy improves just because you have a Google profile set up for your business. So as soon as you do that, you will immediately see more traffic to your website. People can easily find you. And this is kind of that free takeaway that you can go home with and set up for yourself overnight. So very major, incredibly critical to improve your SEO, and it's completely free. So if nothing else, this is where you should start and this is what you should do. Okay, so key points: SEO is the biggest performance driver. And then you need to complete your business profile. So you have to have an optimized website, and the profile is going to be major for you to see higher performance here. All right, let's keep moving. So we analyzed hundreds of thousands of social media posts as a marketing company with tons and tons of campaigns. We want to know which ones are the top performing, what we should continue to create, what's working best for advisors, and we wanted to understand the different topics that are most popular. And you'll see in this slide that there's a couple of things that each campaign has in common. So when you look at these, what do you see? They're very different than that normal kind of baseline financial jargon. They're far more bold, they're attention grabbing, they're unique because our team creates these every single month. So we have a design team, we call them the Magic Factory, and they put that magic into these campaigns so that they're enticing, so that prospects who normally don't really want to read into financial content are actually triggered by things that would be important. So a couple things that you'll notice beyond just that creative flair is that most of these campaigns also come with a free offer. They offer free guides. In fact, of the top 6 performing, 5 of them include a free guide. So those topics are noteworthy, and we'll talk about those in just a second, but this is something for you to take away as well. In your social media, you can't just advertise. You can't just have posts that direct people to landing pages that feel clickbaity. You cannot do that over and over. You also have to include personal things, engaging things. You have to still add a human element into your marketing, right? It has to be your brand, your profile, your authenticity has to be included. But the rule of thumb, for about every 5th or 6th post, you should include something that's driving traffic. So the advertisements and the landing pages are still really incredible tools to drive traffic back to your website or specifically to that landing page to either download the PDF, you get the lead, or to book a meeting with you directly if it's the right time for that prospect. So all of the content you're seeing, these are 6 different campaigns within our library. These are all available to you through IMES. You get an additional 15% off all of our products. But now, where do we get your traffic from? So what's the top performing source of traffic for advisors to build their audience? First step, we looked at all the traffic sources, everything advisors are doing, and here is how they're ranked. So we started with SEO, having an optimized website. Now we're including some different social media, top performing social media posts. And this is where we want to spend our time, the different channels. So the number 1 source of traffic for advisors, you'll see up here, what is it? It's email, right? Email is that tried and true, and I hope I'm not the first one to tell you this, but email is still the number 1 performing channel for advisors and overall throughout marketing. So over half of their traffic is coming from email. Now, what this teaches us is that I have to prioritize building my email list. I have to make sure that my email list is strong and the emails are healthy. So they're not just bots or bot lists. You want to be very careful there. You want to be generating the right types of contacts for yourself, because email is how you're going to penetrate. So your email list is a gold mine, right? You own that. So your CRM, your database, you got to make sure that that's up to date. Once you have that gold mine, you can start to nurture them over time, and eventually you'll turn them into clients by having instructive and knowledgeable touch points that they find valuable, so that when the time is right, when they have a sudden windfall or divorce, or they need to do college planning or estate planning, whatever it may be, you are top of mind. You've created this path back to yourself by being consistent in their email, by being on social media and telling your story there. So building your database and effectively mining it is where the opportunity and the key is to an overall growth strategy. But what's the second after email? It's organic search, right? So this is SEO. Advisors are getting 30% of their traffic through their SEO strategy. You'll probably have nightmares about me saying SEO so frequently in this webinar, but it's something that I really want to harp on, because that's where you're going to find the most success. So you take email and SEO, and that's about 80 to 85% of the traffic. That's a pretty good indicator of where you should focus your time, your efforts. And if you want to really drive unique traffic, you can have your own proprietary lists, proprietary leads, and traffic that you nurture with email. So this is not the most glamorous way to market, but it's the best way, and this is what's working. So how do you actually take that audience and grow it? Well, I think that this is something that if you're distracted at this point, please perk up, pay attention. This is one of the best hacks in this presentation. And if you want to take all of your traffic, all of your opportunities that are coming from social media feeds, from your advertising efforts, from your website, and you want to convert them into viable leads that you can work with, more opportunities and people that you can reach out to. If you want to do all of that, here are the top 5 topics that convert the most amount of leads. So we have the 5 down here. Number 1 is hidden tax opportunities. So do you have an offer around taxes on your website and on your landing pages and on your social platforms, in your advertising? Do you have something that goes along with these types of topics? Because that is the number 1 way to get people to raise their hand, is have something that is timely and relevant. And who's the most concerned with taxes, right? People who are broke and maybe don't pay them or aren't concerned with them? No, right? People that are concerned about taxes normally have money, and they are worried about how to get the best service and the best opportunities. So things to consider, right? And then we have estate planning, right? Leaving a legacy. We have recession survival strategies, another topic that high net worth clients would certainly be concerned with. Retirement success, social security, all of those are very top of mind topics for high net worth clients that are looking for more support or more information. So these different campaigns are what's working best for the 10,000 advisors that we analyzed. And these are things that you should definitely make sure that you have incorporated into your marketing strategy, in your campaigns, on your website, all of the above. All right, so beyond just the actual topic, let's talk about the mighty power of email. And let's talk about subject lines. Those are pretty important, right? That's that catchy piece. That's what kind of triggers that response, what open rates, and people start to pay more attention to you. So these are the top 10 performing subject lines. And you'll notice that there are 2 common elements with all 10 of these subject lines. Number 1, they are timely, right? They are something that is in the headlines that people are already reading about. It's okay to send them more information about those important topics. So we have end of year client letter. Send this to your prospects too. Give them a taste of what happened for your clients. Give them a little FOMO about maybe what they want to see next year. We have the Secure Act 2.0, right? Timely. We have the SVB and bank collapses. We have tragedy in Israel, right? All of these things are timely, and they're already posted everywhere. So getting it from a person, getting this type of email from a person directly makes them feel like you are concerned about these different topics, and it's something that they can kind of find solace in hearing it from a professional. Along with the timeliness, you'll notice there's another attribute. look at number 4 and number 5 and number 6. Making room for hope. What makes you happy? Live your life anyway. What's the common theme here? All of these have a very positive undertone. So this is something that will set you apart from most advisors, from most headlines, from things that normally in the news can really kind of bring people down. And you are sharing this positivity that people are in dire need for at this time, right? So adding that type of positive flair starts to create positive association with your business. And there's something that's called the mirror exposure effect. And it's basically, over time, people, as they see you more frequently, as they see your content more frequently, they start to create a positive affirmation to your business, especially when you use topics that hit on that different type of emotional aspect. So as an advisor, and as the world of advisory and the financial, realm start to evolve, and they've been evolving, people are looking more just past performance and looking more for, guidance and security, both emotionally and monetarily. So these different types of topics can be incredibly helpful to increase your open rate, number one, and also just create more meaningful relationships with your audience by starting conversations. All right, so we're still in that first portion of building your audience, and we need to understand lead engagement campaigns. So along with those different email threads, one of the best strategies we found for nurturing relationships and moving people into a relationship with you is timely emails that are linked to series. So when I say timely, we talk about timely in the headlines. And I want to mention at Snappy Kraken, we create 2 new timely emails every single month. So every 2 weeks, we have a timely topic that comes out. It's routine for us. We make this easy for you. But now if you just get the opt-in into something about one of those different types of subjects, so maybe about estate planning, and then you hit them with something about other topics like a Roth conversion or, something that's totally different than what they initially raised their hand for, it's a bit bait and switchy, right? And no one likes to feel like they signed up for something or they raised their hand for something, then immediately gets shifted into a different kind of sales pitch. So you need to make sure that your language and your campaigns are aligned. And that's why we create content that has both the timely emails that go along with an engagement campaign. This is one of them, for example. It has 5 different emails that go out on schedule that lead to a landing page so that someone can either download a PDF or book a meeting with you directly. So you have all of the follow-up, you have the 5 touch points, you have the direct link to get a hold of you, and then you also have the appointment confirmation email that comes after to remind them about the upcoming appointment. So you really want to make sure that all of that type of verbiage is aligned within that same type of topic. If they're telling you, I'm interested in estate planning, they're letting you know, right? Take that. Don't get your own biases kind of in the way. Instead, nurture the prospect on what they're looking for. So then video campaigns, another way to start conversations and get dialogue. You can build so much credibility in a very short amount of time by producing about a 30 to 60-second video on different topics, and we give you different scripts. We have about 40 scripts in our content library. We also give you all the coaching. We share what tools to use, how to record, the do's and don'ts of videos. And then let's look, so let's look at some of the performance metrics here. So think about putting these in emails. And before I go too far there, I want to talk about, there's some advisors here that may already create tons of videos. They may say, Kendal, I have a huge library on YouTube of videos, and people tell me that that works and they're still there, and I haven't seen a ton of traction. And that's because YouTube is somewhat just living out there, right, in the metaverse. It's not actually getting to anybody. So you have to have a strategy on how to get this in the hands of the right people. And I'll show you how we do that, how we deploy your videos to make sure that people get their eyes on it. But think about just text only emails. You have 27.4% open rate on average, and then adding video into your email, as well as noting that there's a video in the subject line. So watch video about estate planning, make it more creative. We actually already do that for you. You almost double your open rate and click-through rate, more than double your click-through rate when you include video into your email process. So how do we actually share this information? At Snappy Kraken, we have a campaign that is done for you. It's got the bells, the whistles, the confirmation emails. We bundle it up with a little bow on top, and you get an email and a social post that shows a little thumbnail of the video that you've recorded. Again, we give you the script to make sure that you're successful with this video. Video campaigns have 117% better email open rate and 120% better click-through rates than text only. So it's 2024. Video is not going anywhere. If anything, it's just getting bigger and more important. And I think the biggest thing as a business owner and just as a person, when it comes to video, the biggest thing is we get our ego convinced that we don't do video, or that's not what I'm good at, or I have a face for radio, whatever it may be. Don't overthink this so in depth, because historically videos have been this huge project where tens of thousands of dollars have gone into it, and we have professional crews flown out, and it's this mega experience. But truthfully, the only thing you really need to do is focus on creating 60-second videos that are authentic, that are in your home and on your laptop and with your phone, out on your porch, when you're on a walk. Because what's winning in marketing right now is authenticity, is having a story that people feel is compelling and is relatable. And just by being yourself, you will be so astounded by how relatable that is to plenty of people, probably in your area and far beyond. So when it comes to video, this really should be a personal experience that you want to share with your types of lists. We just help you with the actual deployment. All right, so we figured out the audience, right? That's very important. We need to grow that, get noticed, get the opt-in, and then start the conversation. And now we have started the conversation, they've booked the meeting, and we're starting to convert them into a client. So I know IAMS has plenty of tools to help make sure that you are successful with that transition, but we want to help create these lifelong fans for yourself. And so the different ways to do that, I'm going to skip this slide, but you have to have a really incredible onboarding experience. We have a 90-day new client onboarding email sequence that's available in our library. It has 7 different email threads that go out giving expectation setting. There is a survey, a temperature check to make sure that everybody is kosher, that they are happy with what is going on, to let them know that there's plenty of things happening behind the scenes they may not know, but you are on top of that. And if they have any questions, please reach out so that you can be proactive versus reactive with your clients. So that's one way. Another one is all of those timely emails that we mentioned are going to be a great way to make sure that you're touching base without having to take a ton of your own time. to write up this content. I think it takes about 45 minutes to an hour and a half per individual personalized social post or email that you create on your own. And that's actually probably being light on timing. Sometimes it can take more. So those emails that are already produced, they're white labeled, they're coming directly from you as if you are the author, and you can customize all of this content as well. That's a great way for your clients to feel that they're getting taken care of. So we have plenty of resources for client engagement, all of which are going to be important to generating more referrals in a more predictable way. So at Snappy Kraken, our CEO, Robert Sophia, he has scaled a few different fintech companies, largely by the use of events. And, I know that we're a digital marketing provider, but we also want to be very forthcoming with what is working in marketing, and events are still something that you can use to generate large lists of not just leads, but these are referrals. These are warm people coming directly from your clients, their friends, their family, and your close-knit community around you. Again, what we help with at Snappy Kraken is getting this information in front of the people. So with these different event campaigns, we offer social platform invites and then also email invites. Plug and play, you just bring the information of where the event is, what time, what to expect, all of that. You add that into the campaign and then it's already done for you. You can send this out, excuse me. And along with the event, we'll make it look beautiful, but you'll also have all of the follow-up. So you have the RSVP confirmation, you have an email, and then you also have a follow-up one day before the event to remind them to show. I think 57% of clients accept invitations to referral events on average, and 34% will bring a guest when invited to do so. Pretty great numbers, and so events are still something to put some time into and definitely bring back if you haven't in a while. But another way to ask for referrals is by having a really killer script. And so at Snappy Kraken, we have changed the way that advisors operate and ask for referrals because we understand it can be awkward. It's not always the favorite thing to do, but there's an appropriate time, right? So when you're working with a client, they express their gratitude. They thank you for the success or the tools or the time that they got with you. It's the perfect time to ask, right? But you don't have to rely solely on that communication. You can use the different tools. So at Snappy Kraken, we've changed it from asking to offering. So I want to read just this short snippet in the middle so that you can see what I mean by offering instead of asking. It says, that's why with all of the uncertainty in the markets and economy right now, we're leaving a few slots open in our calendar every week just to do financial health checks with people our clients send to us, friends, family members, neighbors, really anyone who would like to make sure they're getting the right care. So you're offering, right? This is something that as an advisor or as a professional, you are working with people and their money, right? You're improving their lifestyles, you're giving them hope. And so you are making the world a better place. And by acknowledging exactly what you do, you can now shift your mindset and realize that you are truly offering someone an incredible service versus asking someone to hand you something. So we give you the script, you can use it, and this is in one of our referral campaigns. Now, I know we're getting close on time, but this is really a slide that is probably one of my favorites. It's not about a specific tactic or strategy, but it says a lot about advisors and the differences in how they market. So we have the average advisor, and then we have the top 20% of advisors. And you will notice here, what we did is we took all of the data and we looked at the average advisor versus the top 20, and we compared them based on these different benchmarks. You can see the average size of their email list, the number of emails they're sending, their open rates, conversion, click-through, and the number of leads that they're generating every time they send out a campaign. So first of all, notice how they prioritize building a database. 755 leads versus 5,000 prospects. Now, you don't have to have a list of 20,000, but increasing your numbers increases your opportunities. So the size of their list is 5 times larger. They're focused on building their audience. They're also more active with sending out campaigns, 3 times more active. And they're sending more emails. They're nurturing their audience more often, right? They're building a list. And then over time, they're building credibility, instilling trust, creating dialogue. And look how this affects their conversion rate. We have 4.3 versus 3.7, which is a pretty massive difference when you're actually thinking about conversion. So look at the click-through rate. We have 40% versus 25. And really, what's the difference between these two, right? These are just ratios. So what makes the biggest difference? What's the biggest indicator? It's consistency and frequency. You have got to be consistent, right? That mere exposure effect, there has to be consistency. People have to see you over and over and know that you are a consistent advisor. And then you have to increase your frequency. 1.3 versus 3.6 will truthfully help you convert more clients, more prospects into clients, more clients into referrals, and then more referrals into your audience. So that flywheel just continues to evolve. And these are really the biggest takeaways. So I appreciate all of you staying with me over the last hour at Snappy Kraken. We have far more resources beyond this data report that are here to help and serve your business. Like I said, you have a 15% off discount with our partnership with IAMS on all of our products. That's websites, automation, and our done for you solution, Freedom 360, that incorporates both your website and your automation every single month. I have your, I will send a follow-up email as well with the recording and your link to learn more from our team. If you have any questions, you can also just simply respond to the email thread directly to me, and I can help you in any of those. So thank you so much, IAMS. Thank you so much for all of you who are attending. I appreciate your time and looking forward to next time.
All righty, thank you, Kendal. I'm, excuse me, going to pop up one more poll here. If you would like some additional information on Snappy Kraken from us, we can obviously, Kendal said she's going to get us out the presentation and some additional information. Put up one more, leave this poll up here for a little bit. Once again, I want to thank everybody for jumping on, and thank you, Kendal, once again for the awesome information.
All right, thanks, John. You guys have a great day.
Thanks, Kendal.